I'm going to show you everything you need to know to beat the IBIS CEL 240 boss fight. This is one of the hardest boss fights in the game, I think, so if you need a hand with it, don't stress, I've got you covered. I'll show you all the parts I use for my lightweight build and talk you through 2 of my full fights so you can see exactly how I use it and what to do. There should be timestamps at the bottom or in the description, so let's get started with the build. Okay, for the IBIS 240 build, we're going to use double Zimmermans. These are very strong weapons, they have very high impact, very high attack power. They're good on weight for how powerful they are, and they have good ideal and effective range. They're very good weapons, very, very strong. Especially compared to other things in their weight class. They're very good for a lightweight build. We've got a missile launcher on the back, it's Duo 3. It's not really going to do a great deal, but we're just filling out the slot. It's got some good impact damage, which is all we need out of it. And lastly we have the laser lance, and we're going to use this one to get close to the boss and shotgun it, or if it's staggered we're going to try to hit it with this as well to get big damage on the stagger. We stagger it with the shotguns and we hit it with the lance. We're using mostly the knack frame. It is very good for evasive builds. The knack arms have very, very good target tracking, which is very useful on this boss. The Femeza chest we need to use because it has better generator output than the knack chest. If we tried to use the knack chest, we'd run out of power, so we're using the Femeza. It's got a very good output. The booster, the Alula, you unlock this from the training missions at the start of the game, like the training modules. It's got very good thrust, keeps us very speedy, very good quick burst reload time, and our afterburner thrust is very quick. It's the worst thing about this booster is the afterburner consumption. It'll tap you out of energy very quickly if you're trying to assault boost around everywhere. But it also has very good melee attack thrust, which is super important for melee builds. We're using the Talbot this time because we have missiles. If we try to use the Abbott, we'll get better performance out of our shotguns, which it may be more important, but it breaks our missile lock correction. So our missiles will take forever to lock. I don't think this is enough of a penalty. They're pretty interchangeable. If you want to go for the close range assist, it's up to you. But I went with the missiles. The 20S, we need to use this lightweight generator because otherwise we'll be overweight. The 20C is better, but the 20S is what we have to fit to make the build work. And terminal armor, this boss has some very, very dangerous attacks. I use it on most of my builds. It just lets you make a mistake. I'm a massive fan of terminal armor. That saves me so many times. But if you're not too worried about S ranking or redoing the checkpoints, you could use assault armor for a bit of a damage boost. Or even pulse armor for like a protection bubble. That's up to you. But I usually use terminal armor. And that's that. Okay, so what do we need to know about IBIS? This boss is super hard to hit, it's very evasive, and it can do a lot of damage as well. It'll spam you with a lot of little laser drones to chip away your health, but most of the danger comes from its energy blades. If you can figure out how to dodge them and time your attacks well, that's the key to beating it. It's got very good input detection as well. Every time you fire your weapon, it's basically like pressing the dodge button on the enemy. It's very annoying to fight. It took me quite a while to get it down. It's probably my least favourite boss in the game, but we're going to beat it. The general strategy is to try to stagger it with the shotguns, and when it's staggered, we hit it with the lance. You can also boost towards it with the lance, like if you think you got an opportunity, use your lance. If you miss, you'll probably be close enough to hit with shotguns anyway. It doesn't have a lot of health and it is very easy to stagger, it's just very hard to hit. We're just going to keep spamming our missiles for damage and to make the boss dodge around a little bit. Sometimes the misses will hit it when it's doing some of its damage phases that we have to dodge out of. Fighting this boss convinced me to change from mouse and keyboard to controller because hard lock makes this boss so much easier. If you are using mouse, it's really easy to break hard lock by moving it at all. Some players recommend turning your mouse to the side or even upside down so the block doesn't break, but it's pretty bad. Straight into the first fight here. It's going to do the same attack, the little laser beams and one swords pipe. Just dodge to the side, get the shotguns off, fire our rockets whenever we get a chance. when you get the stagger, we hit with the lance. Gives us some pretty chunky damage. Just keep on it, keep chasing it. This attack will hit you if you dodge too early, so wait for it until it's about to come out. You see how much stagger those shotguns do. We just gotta wait until it's at the end of the dodges. You see I also missed the lance there, but I used it to get closer instead of actually hit it and roll over it. This first phase is very easy to get through. Just stay on top of it. And the real fight starts now, after it resurrects itself and has a little dance.
It's coming back.
So we keep pressure on it. We won't see most of its moveset. We just want to get rid of it. It has a very low health pool and it's easy to stagger. So just aggression is key. We can't damage it yet. Just have to dodge the lasers for a little while. Once he says destroy the generator, you're good to go. See how much stagger that does in one volley. Just keep chasing it. Try and stay flat when you get lance too, or you're just gonna whiff. So I dodged over it, I didn't see the sword coming. Let's see how much health that takes. Since we got thermal armor, I don't really have to stress it. So I tried to lance from below there and I just completely missed. The sword swipes are easy to dodge when you're far away, but they're not too bad at tracking your direction, so you want to dodge left and right. I'll show up better in the second fight. This one I kind of smashed it. It didn't show much this moveset. It's just trying to keep on top of it. It's such a hard fight to follow. But there it is. The build will get you through. If you can just get on top of it with the lance and hit it with the shotguns, you make quick work of it. But I'll show you another fight, because that one, it doesn't really show much this moveset. Second fight here. Sometimes I think it's easier to learn from my bad runs than my good ones. So I'll show you one where I made a few more mistakes. Same attack pattern, we just dodge. Can't hit with the lance, you get close enough to get the shotgun, so don't stress too much about which one. Can't seem to land another shotgun shot here, but there we go. Another stagger. And I totally whiffed the lance. I put it underneath it, I wasn't level with the boss, so it went nowhere. Wasted swing. But our missiles got a little bit of damage. Dodge left and right for the swords. Another wasted lance. But we're close enough to the boss that our shotguns can get it. Even if you whip the lance, they're still worth in that. Pay attention to the way I'm moving when the fight starts again. You'll see that I'm strafing to the side and jumping and boosting here and there. And by moving in that way, I'm just dodging a lot of the attacks with the speed of the AC without even really knowing they're coming. Dodge things by accident by moving this way, and you'll see in the fight a lot of these big attacks, I don't see them coming, I just jump straight over the top. See, I tried to lance it there at the absolute worst time, but thermal armor saves the day. Took a little bit of damage from the sword there, but after that attack, it stops and gives us a good opportunity with the lance. Not a mistake there. I dodged too early, we copped it right in the face. And there we go, IBIS down. I made plenty of mistakes in this run, but as you can see, the build is solid. It's not an easy boss, but with a bit of practice, you got this. And that's about all there is to say about IBIS 240. Likes and dislikes will help me to make better videos, and I love to see comments when I've helped somebody beat a boss. So if you got the time, leave one down below, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.